Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Sean, or Barely Tactical, or Bear, or bloody whatever, I don't know. And today I'm going to be looking at Toxoids. Paradox have rather kindly let me have early access, and I'm very, very lucky and very, very grateful. You know, if you like this kind of thing, please do free to like, comment, subscribe, you know, put your pants on your head, that kind of thing that every YouTuber ever tells you to do, because we have to do it apparently. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and get into the first bit. Alright, so first up, Overtuned. And no, it's not some weird spin-off of a Fast and Furious film. Thank God for that. We don't need Vin Diesel in Stellaris, please leave him out. This is a origin that's been added in with the Toxoids that allows you to boost your species up by giving them various traits that actually have a bit of a nasty consequence of killing them off a bit more quickly. You can add these traits in at any point in the game through gene tailoring, and you even start with the ability to genetically modify your pops right from the get-go, although it's quite expensive, so probably not the best idea. You can actually boost the effects of the traits that you have put onto your population by using an edict that is called Damn the Consequences. Very, you know, aptly named. And if I show you some of the traits now, you can see that you have a bunch of yellow ones. Now, you'll only get these highlighted, I think, actually, they don't even appear if you pick any other origin, they just disappear. And you can see it gives you habitability, army damage, and pop resource output from workers. You have food increase, you have minerals, you have energy, you have amenities, you have consumer goods upkeep, you have science, leader experience gain, unity, you have a bigger science one, you have a bigger pop one and housing one, and you have a bigger habitability one. Now, all of these give you some really, really nice bonuses, but they reduce your lifespan by 10 to 30 years each. So the more you load on, the more powerful you'll become, but you'll probably be born and then die a week later, you know. So that could cause some rather interesting issues. That being said, I think this is going to be quite fun, and it's going to add quite a different way of being able to approach things, because I think if you start lacking in an area in Stellaris, you know, if you're lacking in science, or you're lacking in unity or energy generation, you can easily swap out traits to try to, you know, fill the gap, as it were, and that's quite nice. So we'll now have a look at the next one. Okay, so the other origin, Knights of the Toxic God. This is an absolutely huge story-focused origin which has you searching for the long-lost toxic god, the big, nasty, foul space entity that farted on your planet, left half of it in decay, turned everyone green, angry, and then did the biggest trip for searching for the milk in history. Yeah, it's a bit of a douche, and I'm not going to be a douche by telling you what happens. You'll have to find out for yourself, or watch some creators like myself doing streams of what happens. However, enough of the rambling stuff. You start off with a unique habitat in your home system, which equates to you having 3 less pops on your home planet. But it's not all terrible, because you actually gain access to 3 new types of pops, which are unique to the Knights of the Toxic God. You have the Lord Commander, the big cheese and head honcho of the Knights. He produces unity. Below him, you have Knights, who produce all the sciences and also unity, but they also give a boost of +2 per knight to every single planet with their army defenses. So each army gets an extra 2 armies, depending on how many knights that you have. You then have the Squires. These boost the output of your Lord Commander and your Knights by 2% at the beginning, and this can increase given, you know, various upgrades on your planet and through quests. And they also produce unity, which is quite handy. You have access to the nightly duties policies. Now, these have some rather fancy names, but I broke them down into something much more straightforward. The first one is an expansion focus, increasing survey speed and anomaly discovery chance. The diplomacy focus, which increases diplomatic weight and an extra envoy. war focus, which increases home territory fire rate, also ship fire rate and army damage. Now, that could be quite handy if you're planning out a war or you're planning to try to push for something in the Senate. You can change your stance on your policies, obviously only once per 10 years, just like any other policy, so you have to time things right for it to be really, really helpful. Something I will say is that this campaign is a lot slower. It's a lot more of a difficult start because you'll be left in the red for a lot of your resources for the first few years. Now, this isn't terrible, it's very manageable, but you will be given really powerful modifiers to the knights and to your homeworld through doing the quests, which, you know, is quite handy. The reason that you are in the red is the fact that these unique pops are very expensive, and on top of that, questing for the Toxic God costs you resources. You have 3 options with the questing for the Toxic God. The first being regular, which costs you 10% of alloys and 10% of your energy income. I believe it's 10%, I may be wrong. You then have a generous option, which increases the speed in which you are questing, but costs you 20% of both. And then there is frugal, which dramatically cuts how quickly you are questing, but doesn't cost you anything. So you can kind of avoid being in the red, but at the cost of, you know, not being able to hunt down the Toxic God as fast. Oh yeah, and also the more expensive one actually gives you 10% extra unity as well. So you're kind of paying to have a bit of a higher unity output, which could be handy in some situations. You know, it's not going to be terrible. So personally, this is going to be my favorite one because I do like focusing on more roleplay styled things in strategy games. I'm not a big meta person, as many people know, so I'm really, really looking forward to this one. So let's jump into the rest of, you know, the new goodies that come along with this DLC. All right, something else that got added in: 3 traits that are not linked to the overtuned origin, which, you know, I can cover a list of those at some point if people really want. Let me know. I'll do fun ones and meta ones or whatever, I don't know. I'll pretend like I know what I'm talking about. The first one that we have is inorganic breath. This gives an increase of pop upkeep by 50%, but each working pop that is a slave or better produces 0.02 exotic gases per month, which apparently is really good. I'm not sure. I don't know the numbers on this. Apparently lithoids have something similar, but it's actually significantly less than what this is. Plus, obviously, lithoids pop growth is terrible, so it's quite hard to actually achieve decent numbers with it, whereas these guys could potentially have really good pop growth. The second one is incubators, which grants between 30% and minus 10% pop growth speed, inversely proportional to the number of pops on the planet. So a highly populated planet will have a pop growth speed of minus 10%, which probably isn't too bad, because if you've got a planet that's almost full, you're not going to want the pop growth to be going through the roof. So that doesn't sound terrible. And then you have the flip side of, if a planet is relatively empty, you get an increase of, you know, up to 30%, which is really damn nice. You also have noxious. Now, this is quite interesting. You have a species minimum habitability of plus 30% and a species habitability cap of minus 30%. So, as far as I'm concerned, it could never be higher than 70% on a planet, but you can also never have it below 30%. Yeah, I'm not great with wording these things. Army damage is increased by 50%. Pop housing usage is increased by 10%. Happiness per noxious pop is decreased by 1%. Happiness per non-pop noxious pop is increased by 2%, which is, yeah, I can see this one getting tinkered with a bit because some of it just doesn't make that much sense. But hey, I think it's going to be quite funny. I reckon on my first playthrough, I'm probably going to have incubators and noxious just for a laugh to see how things go. And yeah, probably be terrible to run my species into the ground. But hey, at least it's thematic, right? Okay, so something else as well that's been added in. There are 3 new civics, which are quite nice. You have the mutagenic spars, which Gives you the ability to build mutagenic spars on your planets. Each bath attendant grants pop growth speed plus 1% per industrial district, but at a cost of happiness minus 0.5% per industrial district. Habitability is down by 0.5% per industrial district as well. Another one is scavengers, which allows the ability to research debris, will grant both research and a portion of other resource costs of the destroyed fleet. Ships can also be salvaged from some debris, which is, you know, quite nice. You get free ships. You could even sell those off to the scavengers that you find, which is really, really handy. Extra money. You know, extra free money, actually. That's even better. And there is another one, which if I go and find it now, which is called Relentless Industrialists. This gives you the ability to build a coordinated fulfillment center, significantly increasing alloy and consumer good outputs at the cost of reduced pop growth and gradually turning planets into tomb worlds. Now, there's a lot of requirements for this, which is quite funny. But hey, I suppose realistically, you're just industrializing the planet until you turn it into a smoking husk. That doesn't sound at all familiar, does it? Okay, so something else has been added in. I'll go over this very briefly. There's not an awful lot I can say. You got a new ship set, which is quite damn nice. They kind of remind me of Tau ships out of Warhammer for some reason. But they are quite nice. They look different from all the others, and I really like the designs of them. I think, yeah, this is definitely something that's quite interesting. Okay, and so a few other bits that got chucked in. We have a new advisor voice. Now, it's rather interesting because I think it sounds a bit like a robotic Morgan Freeman. Don't know if anyone will agree with me, but hey.
Oh, please. Do not press any buttons if you don't know what they do.
That's it.
I've already had to save you from spontaneous combustion quite enough times.
Oh, okay. Calm down. Jeez. That's a bit harsh. But so there's a new advisor. Not sure I agree with some of the stuff it says, because it kind of feels like it's more suited towards one origin than it is the other, but hey, it's funny. I'm not going to argue with it too much. We also have new flag designs, which are relatively nice. They're pretty, you know, toxic and slimy and deathly looking, which makes a hell of a lot of sense if you ask me. Yeah. Stuff, and there is also a new type of planet modifier for terraforming, which is a toxic planet. There is a ascendancy type. I believe it's called Detox. I think I could be wrong, but it allows you the capability of terraforming toxic planets and turn them into a habitable planet. It's a shame it's not the other way around, and you go around making every planet toxic and you live on toxic worlds, because I feel like thematically that would make a lot of sense. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that was the new DLC. I'll say a few things, which is, you know what, I actually really quite like this. I haven't tried overtuned too much just yet because it's not really my playstyle. I'm more into the Knights of the Toxic God kind of thing, where it's more story driven. I will try overtuned because I think it's going to give some very funny combinations that you can just chuck in mid-game and watch all hell break loose, which I'm absolutely fine with and I love. So this is great. The advisor voice is good, the ship designs are good, I like the flag designs. There's really not much negative to say, so hey, I'm sold. Hurrah. If you like this stuff, please do feel free to like, comment, subscribe, you know, put your pants on your head, yada yada yada, do all the things. There is a lot of Warhammer content coming out. There will be more Crusader Kings coming out in the future as well. I will hopefully dive into EU4 and Vicky 3 as well at some point, so keep your eyes open for that, and I will probably even do some more Stellaris stuff. So, until next time, I'll catch you later.